A lot of people assume that loving old music is just about nostalgia, thinking back to your first crush, the posters you decorated your room with, or that first road trip where you played the same song over and over. And yes, that's part of it, but there's more going on beneath the surface. People who consistently reach for older music aren't just stuck in the past, they're seeking emotional depth, psychological comfort, and a connection that new music often can't provide. Let's explore why. Older music can instantly pull up feelings we haven't thought about in years and take us right back to the moments when we felt our best. Imagine sitting on the edge of your bed, sunlight filtering through half-closed blinds, a familiar track playing. Suddenly, you're on your first solo road trip, windows down, wind in your hair, the stereo humming your favorite tune. Or picture laughing with friends on a summer evening, sharing snacks on the curb, sunlight on your arms, the smell of freshly cut grass, energy and joy flooding back as if you could step into that moment again. The rhythm, chords, and vocals tap directly into memory in a way no new release can. Another big reason is the richness of the sound itself. Many older tracks were layered in ways that modern music doesn't match. You might notice the bass weaving through the rhythm guitar, or the harmonies tucked in just behind the lead vocals. Listening closely, you catch tiny details, a brief piano fill, a subtle drum pattern that you never noticed before. That layering wasn't accidental, it was crafted to make the music feel alive. Older music also carries cultural and emotional context. Even if you weren't alive when it was first released, you can imagine the environment it came from. You might picture a small town diner in the 70s, with people sitting in booths sipping coffee while a band plays softly on the jukebox. Or a crowded park where kids and teenagers are skateboarding and passing a baseball back and forth, the music floating over their heads. Each track becomes a picture of time, painting a story without needing words. Many people turn to older music because it offers stability and freedom at the same time. Unlike streaming singles that are constantly updated, these tracks never change. The same notes, the same beat, the same rhythm you loved years ago. There's comfort in knowing what to expect, and there's no pressure to check if it's trending or if anyone else is listening. You can enjoy it purely, flipping through an old playlist while cooking dinner, singing along, tapping your foot, or just letting the melody drift by. It's yours, reliable and liberating at once. People are also drawn to older music for the human, textured sound. Think about hearing a recording with subtle imperfections. Maybe the drums hit slightly off, a guitar string rattles, a vocal cracks for a moment. Those tiny irregularities make the track feel alive. Modern music often compresses and polishes every note, which can feel too clean, too perfect. There's warmth in the older recordings, like they've carried the energy of a real person playing for an audience, even if you're listening alone decades later. Older music invites active listening. You might notice how a song builds, how layers interact, or how a lyric feels different depending on your mood. Listening isn't just background noise, it becomes a mental puzzle or journey. Imagine lying on your bedroom floor, headphones on, eyes closed, picking out every detail of the melody, and imagining what it would feel like to be in that same room where the music was first recorded. It turns simple listening into a small adventure. Many people experience identity anchoring through older music. Certain tracks become part of who you are. Even if everything else has changed, career, city, friends, that track reconnects you with that moment, your younger self, and the person you were becoming. It's a small but steady reminder of continuity in life. Older music also encourages slow, immersive listening. Albums weren't always made to shuffle. Songs were sequenced, transitions mattered. You might sit cross-legged on the floor, vinyl spinning, journal open, and notice new details with every listen. Maybe the second track has a subtle piano riff you never noticed before, or the final track crescendos in a way that makes you pause, smile, or think. It's not just a song, it's an experience. Older music also creates human shared connections. Even if someone didn't experience the era firsthand, they recognize the emotions it conveys. You might hear a track in a cafe and glance around. Someone else is tapping their foot, nodding along. You share that moment silently with strangers, a brief human link across time and experience. That feeling is rare in new releases that often aim for fleeting virality rather than connection. There's also a sensory aspect. Older music often evokes mental imagery, sitting on a stoop, sunlight on brick walls, the smell of rain on pavement, the feel of worn sneakers on a cracked sidewalk. These imagined spaces make the music immersive. You aren't just hearing the song, you're picturing a full scene, and your brain fills in all the textures, the light, the smells, the movement. Older music rewards curiosity. You might hear a song you've heard many times, only now you notice a clever rhythm or pick up on a subtle instrument you didn't hear before. Each discovery feels like finding a secret in your own backyard, hidden in plain sight. Even casual listeners often find themselves returning to the same album, noticing something new each time. For some, older music offers comfort through familiarity. You know the beats, the lyrics, the pauses. When life feels chaotic, that predictability can be grounding. It's a small sanctuary in an otherwise unpredictable world. Older music also supports reflection and emotional growth. A track that once made you want to dance might now make you pause and think. Maybe you hear a lyric about friendship, loss, or dreaming big, and it resonates differently based on where you are in life. It's a tool for self-reflection, allowing you to revisit past feelings and compare them to your current perspective. At the end of the day, people who love older music aren't just clinging to the past. They're drawn to emotional depth, engagement, and stability. They want songs that make them feel, think, and remember. They want texture, warmth, and a sense of continuity. They want to slow down, focus, and explore their own thoughts and feelings. They want music that lets them step into their own history without leaving their chair. Next time you see someone reaching for older music, don't assume it's just nostalgia. It's about reliving personal moments, discovering hidden layers, and anchoring identity in a world that constantly changes. It's about creating moments, quiet, simple, and deeply personal, that only a track from the past can give. Older music isn't just sound, it's an experience, a lens for seeing life with more depth, sharper focus, and emotional clarity. It's a small refuge, a way to feel fully present, and a way to honor your own past while navigating the present. That's why, no matter how many new hits come out, older music continues to matter. It's timeless, not because of nostalgia, but because it captures something essential about being human. And most importantly, it brings you back to the moments when you felt your best, strongest, and most alive. Like that first summer on your own, your first big adventure, or a quiet evening when everything just felt right.